In this video, we'll be taking a look at Iravati Karve and one of her most famous works, Kinship Organization in India. Iravati Karve was an Indian sociologist, anthropologist, educationist, and writer. She was the first female anthropologist of India. She was born on 15 December 1905 in Burma and she grew up in Pune. Contrary to other middle-class families in Pune, she was born into a cultural context that prized education, which gave her enough room and freedom to study. After completing her school education, she did her BA in philosophy. She obtained her master's degree in sociology under the guidance of G.S. Gurye. After that, she did her doctoral work in anthropology from Kaiser Wilhelm Institute in Germany. It was extremely unusual for women to take up anthropology because its research methodology was fieldwork oriented and therefore demanded strenuous physical exertion and research outside one's culture. Making her mark in a male dominated field was not an easy feat, but her prowess in her subject helped her find her footing. From being the first woman in Pune to ride a scooter, to going abroad to obtain her doctoral degree at a time when it was rare for women to even get a school education, Iravati lived her life on her own terms. One of her most significant contributions to her academic field was starting the anthropology department at Pune University. From heading the Department of Sociology and Anthropology at Deccan College for 40 years, presiding over the Anthropology Division of the National Science Congress held in New Delhi in 1947, to being appointed as the Vice Chancellor of S&DT College, Dr. Karve donned multiple academic hats in her lifetime. Since Iravati Karve wrote in both English and Marathi on academic subjects as well as topics of general interest, she had an enviably wide circle of readership. At the international level, she is known for her study of various social institutions in India and especially for her book Kinship Organization in India, first published in 1953, at a time when works on language and marginalization dominated the field of sociology in India, which was the result of India's colonization. Karve took another route and worked on kinship using Indology. This method was a departure from the greatly anglicized research being conducted in India. She emphasized on shedding the lens of colonizers. Throughout her career as a sociologist cum anthropologist, Karve remained true to her Indian heritage. In her book Kinship Organization in India, Karve divides the whole country into northern, central, southern, and eastern zones, keeping in view the linguistic, caste, and family organization, which are three factors that are absolutely necessary for the understanding of any cultural phenomena in India. Even the present-day cultural problems before India revolved around these three entities. She undertakes a comparative analysis of the four cultural zones with a view to trace out something like a regional pattern of social behavior. She has adopted a historical perspective covering over a span of 3,000 years based on ethno sources, observations, and folk literature, along with Sanskritic texts. She has succeeded in bringing out very clearly the contrast between the social system of northern India, developed by a patrilineal and patrilocal society, probably associated primarily with a pastoral economy and depending for its strength on external alliances and the incorporation of outsiders, and that of the South, which has its strength in the internal consolidation of closely related kinship groups originally dependent upon agriculture. Her acquaintance with Sanskrit and Pali literature enabled her to write on Indian kinship diachronically. She even learned to read Tamil to understand the early literature which shines light on the South Indian systems. Nandini Sundar, who did a phenomenal work on the biography of Karve, states that her works are majorly influenced by four intellectual traditions. The first was an ideological tradition that she imbibed from her mentor G.S. Gurye. The second one is the ethnological tradition that could be seen in the widespread surveys that she undertook for her works. The third is that of German physical anthropology, which is basically tracing the genetics of various groups under study to state their origins. The final one is that of socio-economic research and archaeological explorations, all of which were results of Karve's passion for research. Her enthusiasm for study, research, and travel was of an unmatched kind. This video is presented by the Sociology Association of St. Teresa's College.